Howdy and welcome to the Laptop Empire Show. I'm your host, Mike Yonda, and today we've got a great episode for you about what are the best niches if you're doing Facebook ad management or other digital marketing services, whether as a freelancer or as an agency, because not all niches are created equal. And so before we get started today, I do have a quick request for you. First thing, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any episodes and hit that notification bell so that way YouTube will actually let you know when we have new videos that come out every single Tuesday. And then go to the comments and let me know what niches do you work with or what niches do you want to work with, and just kind of like what are your favorite niches and why? Because everybody has different niches. They have different types of people that they like to work with. And although in today's video we're going to talk to you about what we think are the best niches, everybody's a little bit different. So let me know your thoughts in the comments and let's dive into this. So today's video is a little bit different. I'm actually sharing one of the live trainings that we do from our Facebook side hustle course. So you're going to see myself as well as my business partner Bobby Hoyt from Laptop Empires sharing information about, if you're providing Facebook ad management services, what niches you should be looking into, which ones are going to pay the best, be the easiest to work with, easiest to get results for, all of those kind of things that you should be considering when picking a niche and figuring out who you're going to work with, because some niches are really difficult to work with. So this is one of our live trainings that we do every week. It's a little bit more laid back. I'm pretty sure I'm drinking wine in the video. So that's how we roll. So but it's just packed full of information. So I think you're really going to enjoy this training. And if you don't already do some sort of social media marketing and you want to learn how to run Facebook ads, you want to learn a great way to earn an extra $1,000 to $2,000 per month, or what this Facebook side hustle is all about, click the link. It's in the description. It's in the comments. You can learn all about this incredible side hustle and get started and learn from us if it's something that you want to do. So without further ado, let's start this training on what make the best niches for digital marketing. I'll see you on the other side.
Offers and different niches that we like, things that we think are difficult. We're going to talk about what makes a good offer, how to get your client to actually run a good offer. So we're going to talk about a bunch of different things that are obviously really important for finding the right kind of client, and then what to kind of do with them initially when you find them. One thing I want to talk about real quick. So everybody in the personal finance blogging world they say it's niche. And I've always felt like I don't know what to do about that, because I feel like it might technically be niche, but that sounds so stupid. I don't want to say that. So I say niche.
I've always said niche.
So
I feel like if you're going to say niche, you're also going to, I just muted you, sorry.
Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to say niche, you're also going to drink like this.
Yeah. Well, there could be. What I would like for is everybody in the comment section can just put like how they, like NEESH or NITCH. I would like to know how everybody thinks that it's actually supposed to be said, because I'm going to say niche this entire time. But when I'm with my other friends, I have to say niche. And it's very
niches get stitches. No, you don't. Don't be a conformist, Bobby.
But it just makes it so much easier.
You know what? I'm going to go to Orlando with you to that personal finance conference. And I'm going to be like, so what niches you bitches use?
They're going to be like, niche. You didn't say niche.
You're going to regret inviting me there.
I totally am, but it'll be fun. Okay. So let's jump in. Okay. So first let's talk about niches that we like. I know that, you and I kind of work with a lot of different, your vertical has been more kind of the coaching and the gyms. Mine's been a little bit more all over the place, because I started out doing search engine optimization and different things and transitioned into doing Facebook stuff. So let's just go through some different niches that you guys should probably be targeting, or just ones that are kind of low-hanging fruit and easy to work with.
Well, let's talk really quickly just about like what makes a good niche,
Mm-hmm.
Because I think with the local advertising, there's a few key things that make up a good niche. And, one of them in my mind is something that's got, a good value ladder, or the ability to give good offers that people will want, that they can just toss out there, for free. So
when you say value ladder, can you define that for people?
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to mute somebody. Every time I go to mute somebody, your face pops up. Yeah. So a value ladder it's a series of offers that increase in value so that you're getting them in the door for something that's maybe lower value. You're giving something away for lower value, but your ability to sell them naturally is going to be a lot higher. So I always think of there's two instances that I think of value ladder very easily, which would be restaurants and and dentists, right? Like for a restaurant, it's really easy to say, hey, come get a free appetizer, or even buy one meal, get one free. Because they know that they can they're giving away a small value in the amount of food. They might sell the meal for $20, but it only costs them $5. But then you're going to buy 2 other meals. You're going to bring the whole family. A good example of this was I sent you the video of that ridiculous chocolate piñata last weekend.
Yeah.
We got an offer to go to a Mexican restaurant down the street we like, and all good, man. And it was come in and buy 3 entrees, and you get this chocolate piñata, which imagine a giant ball of like hard chocolate stuffed with fruit, sopapillas. There's whipped cream. Yeah, it was at Uncle Julio's. Yeah. And they give you a bat, and we're like, Cooper would love this. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, so those things are like $30, right?
Yeah.
They're really expensive, and we would never get one. But when we saw that, we're like, oh, let's go. Our 2.5-year-old would love this. And he did. And I sent you the video, and he's like bashing this ball of chocolate with a hammer. And it was just so much fun. And then we stuffed our faces. But it was a great offer because we love fajitas, as y'all probably picked up on. And, I got fajitas, my wife got fajitas, and then we had to get a 3rd entree. So we got a 3rd thing of fajitas to have for breakfast the next day. Right. Because that's how we roll.
So like on that $30 offer, like how much did they get on you guys?
Oh, we spent like $70 because I got 2 margaritas too. Like, my wife was like taking it easy, didn't get any. But I mean, yeah, so they spent, the whole thing cost maybe $10, and they got us to buy 1 more entree than we normally would. Like that's a value lab. That's an example.
A great offer. I get those from Gringos, but it's just really great. So like that, Gringos just sends out Gringos is a really popular restaurant in my area. They send out just like a free queso one, and we'll go in there and spend like $60 on a $5 queso.
But like
it's good though. We like Gringos. It entices you.
They could send me an offer that says like, hey, if you come in today, you'll get free soft serve, which they already give away for free. And I would be like, well, I'm going to Gringos. Can't turn that offer down.
Gringos could ask me to like prepay them. They could be like, pay us $5 for the ability to come in and eat food here. And I would. Gringos is really good.
50% tip. I'm there. Yeah. No, but another example would be a dentist, right? Like put out, free teeth whitening or something like that, which isn't going to cost them a lot. But then they have an upsell of, oh, hey, why don't we get you in here for, 2 times a year for your regular cleanings? Oh, hey, you've got a cavity. Oh, hey, you need braces. There's all kinds of things. Can we get you veneers? Like they have all of these higher value things that they can sell people into. Yeah. And so having that increases your potential ROI, and it makes it easier to give a really, really good offer. So we like things that have these easy giveaway freebies or things that get you to then spend more money or to go into a subscription, which technically your regular checkups to the dentist is a subscription, right? So that's something I like in niches. I know you were telling me about one earlier that you like in niches, if you remember.
I don't know if I remember which one we were talking about. I feel like this happens to me once.
I'm trying to remember too. That's why I said like I tried to hand it off to you because I'm trying to remember what you said.
I just want to say when you were doing that, I noticed that Nate married way outside of his league, just like I did. Nate's wife came across the screen.
Dude, like, not even joking. That's the most truth thing that's been said in this whole class.
They're actually talking.
Yeah, we're actually talking. Hi, Nate's wife.
We're talking about how Nate outkicked his coverage. It's okay. I did too.
I did. Bobby did. Both of us totally did. So we're right there with you, Nate. Okay. Yeah. So there's a couple of them. We can go through some niches. So gyms, you do gyms. Gyms are, I think, kind of the same thing because you can do You can do free trials. You can do things like challenges and stuff like that, and get them in, and then get them hooked on, a full membership, or full membership plus the spa package, or plus tanning. Our gym has like tanning beds, and there's a lot of those value ladders there that I think that gyms just makes a lot of sense. And if I could go back and redo what I did, I'd probably, I don't know. I'd at least try some gyms, because I think it looks like a good niche to be in.
It's a good niche. It's one that a lot of people go after. I'm probably not the best person to talk to about it, because I'm looking around,
Yeah.
trying to see about maybe getting into something else. But, I came from, my first business was a fitness business. So I'm just kind of over Fit Pros. And, I say that, and I've got some Fit Pro friends that bought our course. But yeah, it's a good niche. The kinds of offers, I think we'll go through here in a second, some niches we like, and you can see some commonalities. But, when we talk about gyms, we like paid challenges, longer term programs that are going to get somebody results, but they're lower cost than the normal membership to get them in the door, and then we like, like free trials as well. We don't like things like a one-off free personal training session.
Yeah.
Because people go, okay, what's one personal training session going to do? Or they go, all right, I'm just walking into a sales pitch. And so what we like instead is 21-day challenge, 28-day program, 6-week whatever.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that we like. So, or like a 1 week trial or a 2-week trial. That's free.
So Randy he said, what about independent trainers or groups that rent space from studio owners? I think there's opportunity there, but you would know better about that than me.
It's been so hit or miss for me with independent trainers. The thing you run into with any niche is, how good will this person sell, right? How well will they sell? How well will they follow up? Todd and I had a conversation about, Todd does orthodontists, and we're talking about getting them to follow up, and they're real resistant to do that. And you just got to ingrain it in people. But the thing with personal training is it tends to be more expensive, and people just don't value fitness the way they probably should, like people have a hard time seeing the value in paying $60 an hour for a personal training session when they can go join Globo Gym for $9.
Right.
So it's a harder sell. But so for me, what I tend to focus on when I work with gyms is I like to focus on the groups, right? Yeah. Small group PT and boot camp. I really like small group PT personally, because you get that personalized vibe, that personalized attention, but it's a good time for money thing for the clients. So every time I've worked with a personal trainer that's a one-on-one type training, they end up moving to small group, because we fill up their one-on-one, and they're like, okay, I'm making decent money, but I'm working all hours. And then we go, okay, well, if we can make it so that you're doing 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, but 2 to 3 people, is the same cost as one-on-one. Now you're making 2 to 3 times as much money per hour, and they get better leverage. So, we see a lot of that. 6 to 8 people for 6 weeks. Yeah. That's 6-week programs are really hot. That's about as long as I'll go with the program, because people, they don't think they can commit. When you say 12 weeks, they go, geez, that's a lot of time. That's like a year, and people just don't believe in themselves enough. And that's what you got to think about. It's not about the results you can get them. It's what they believe they can do. It's a lot easier to swallow the 28-day offer than it is to swallow the 8-week offer.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think the dentist one is so good, because it's just like a free teeth cleaning. Like, everybody understands that their teeth are important, but.
And the hard thing with things like dentists and orthodontists, they have a great value ladder, but man, it's like, I almost said it's like pulling teeth to get them to call people. So yeah, it's really difficult to get those types of businesses to follow up with leads. And if you can get them to do it, great niche, but you really got to hammer that home.
One that's interesting. Sorry, I know you want to move on, but we've never talked about this one, so it's a good one to talk about. What about wedding venues? It's a little more obscure, but the value ladder is insane on those. Like because that's my wife picked ours from a Facebook ad, and they got us in there. And one, they have dedicated sales reps, a lot of them. But two, like there's a lot of stuff that they can upsell you on. But I think it's harder to get the right people, but it's just an interesting one.
I think it's a good one for what you said, but I would put that in our difficult category that we're going to go to later, and I'll explain why then.
It's similar. It's kind of probably similar to jewelry and stuff we'll talk about.
Yeah. It's going to be stuff that's good, but it's hard. Well, why don't you just list off some of the niches that we like?
Yeah. So one, and this is one we've seen in the group a lot, just because there's a lot of them out there, and they're all hungry for business, realtors. So, do you want to go through offers too? Or you just want to go through niches and go back?
Why don't we go through our list of niches we like and talk about kind of why we like them, and then we can start talking about some example offers.
Yeah.
For each of those.
Cool. Yeah. So realtors, obviously, and there's a ton of them out there. I mean, I personally know probably 7 realtors. And this one's going to be, I think that one's going to be a little bit boom or bust, just depending on the housing market. But right now where we live, the housing market's really hot. So you kind of have to gauge that. There's just a lot of realtors.
And I'm working on getting us a guest expert to do one of these trainings.
I think that'd be great.
Specializes in real estate.
Yeah. There's so many people that are doing that.
He's crushing it. He's actually in another group, the group that I met Todd in, and he was doing gyms and he switched to realtors and his business blew up. He went from a handful of clients to like 20 plus clients. He's about to hire a big team. So, also we mentioned dentists.
Yeah.
But dentists are good ones. Chiropractors are good ones. You can go ahead.
Yoga.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine, dude. It's that commander personality. Yoga, nail and hair studios. This one I think is huge, and we've already seen people in the group go after this. Mm-hmm. One, there's a lot of. That's a pretty big umbrella. There's a lot of specific things within that where people, microblading and all that kind of stuff. But even like,
what that is, but
I think that's the eyebrows. I'm pretty sure that's the eyebrows. Right? Somebody permanent eyebrow. Okay, thank you, Randy. Because like I said it, I was like, oh god, I hope it's not this. I hope
the closest I've gotten to a nail or hair salon is when I go to the donut shop that's owned by the same people that own the nail salon next door. So
that's a very creative endeavor on their part. Well, I mean, like hair studios, like Coral's hair stylist, my wife's hairdresser. I mean, she found out about the Facebook thing that we're doing, and she immediately, like her and 7 people that she works with in the same kind of studio, I guess they all rent their own studios. She was like, I want in, like I want Facebook ads. Because you can get people in for, I don't know the best way to describe this, but you can get people in for free trims or whatever, and then upsell them to a color or whatever. There's just a lot of those independent contractor people that you can ladder with them, but sometimes I wonder if they're willing to pay big money for it, but I think if you can prove results, they still would. We talked about restaurants. Restaurants is a great one. Like I mentioned, like if a good restaurant gives me a queso, I'm coming in, and I'm coming in hot, ready to eat a lot of food. And then this is what we talked about that is really interesting, because you said it to me and I was like, really? But plastic surgeons.
That's my curveball, right?
Yeah.
And so, I said I like value ladders, but I also like ones that have good throwaway offers. And plastic surgeon, I mean, they can give away Botox injections, like getting rid of crow's feet, getting rid of that little jiggle thing or whatever. And,
that's a big gobbler. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, but it's a nice value ladder to go from Botox injection to fake titties. So I think that's an interesting one that you can get people in, and generally if they're using their Botox or anything like that, they're bringing
money.
So I just had really weird deja vu right now, like all you people across the top and everything.
Guaranteed this hasn't happened before. I don't think.
I guarantee that I had a dream where I said free Botox to fake titties and then saw all your faces. And I'm a little weirded out right now. So,
well, that's good.
Man, this is an epic moment in this training. Everyone's going to remember this.
Mike said free titties like 3 times. Or big. I don't know how you said it. I'm so sorry. Everybody that paid for this course are just like, oh my God.
Everybody's like, we've been following Bobby for years and he's so nice and so professional. And then he hoodwinks us and brings in this ridiculous dude that says random shit. Yeah. How we roll.
Yeah, it's fine. Just blowing up my whole brand on a So let's go back through the offers.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So we already talked about gyms. You know, with realtors, I think there's a lot of great opportunities, and it's definitely easier to do buyer leads than seller leads. But most realtors do both. And generally what happens is when you want to buy a home, you find a realtor. And then when you want to sell a home, you use the same realtor. So it's really common for realtors to start out by seeking buyer leads. And so the offers that I've seen for realtors that have worked really well is straight up promoting a listing for a house. And I actually screenshotted an ad I will share with y'all later. It's in my phone somewhere. But, like you can do carousel ads where you show all the different rooms in the house, or you can do a video tour, or you can just do a picture of the front of the house and talk about the features of the house. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a pool or whatever. And people will see the house and go, wow, I really like that house. And it's in my area, and they'll click on it. I mean, I'm not looking to buy a new house or sell my house. My wife is checking out houses all the dang time. So I feel like that's a great market to be in because, I'm sure that any of you that have wives here, I wouldn't be surprised if your wives watched as much TLC, like midget wedding shows and looked at as many dream homes as my wife does. Maybe that's just her.
No,
we
just built a house. We built we have a nice house, and my wife still looks at stuff. Just like I don't understand. Like we literally just built this house. We've been here since October. And
did Coral watch that Say Yes to the Dress show?
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Katie watched that. We're getting ready for the wedding. I was like, cool, did it. Then we got married, and it kept going. Kill me now. Melissa says I like to creep on other people's stuff.
Well, hey. Yeah, but yeah, so the realtor thing is good. And there's a lot of people in the group that have been asking, they've started to either work with realtors or do a proof of concept. And they're like, do I do a picture of a house or do a picture of people? And that's just, it's the same thing, test and find out.
Carla, you're quickly becoming
But yeah, I like the carousel
favorites. Because you posted that epic long copy today, and I was really impressed. And then you just claimed my little slogan for yourself. Dude, that's fantastic.
I got hit with what is that? Ad zombies. They hit me with, just because we're talking about fake titties. They hit me with an ad that was 2 cupcakes with titties on them. Have you seen that one? I almost screenshotted it and put it in the group. I was like, this is the most inappropriate thing I've ever been hit with on Facebook, but it made me look at the ad for probably about 45 seconds to read it, and I was like, wow, these guys, they definitely went there.
Well, really quickly, because you're talking about an ad image that got your attention.
Yeah.
I had to send this lengthy message to a client earlier this week that we were getting really poor results, and I said, look, I'm bringing out my smoking gun, and I'm running an ad with a picture of a woman for the men's gym. Or for the men's program. And I said, here's the deal. The ad is going to say we're looking for men and women, in the area, but I'm only targeting men and I'm using an image of a woman. And I was like, we're just having a hard time getting people to click on the ad. And what's going to happen is guys are going to stop scrolling.
Yeah.
And it's crushing. Secret weapon. It's crushing. So there's a nugget for y'all.
There's a tasty nugget. Was that what you said? Okay. So dentist, we talked about dentist, free whitening. I feel like
let me get one more thing with the realtors.
Okay.
Individual listings of homes, open houses, getting people to open houses is great. The guy that I'm trying to get to do the training for us, he said he spends $1 to $3 per lead for home listings. So think about that. If let's say $2, if a realtor spends $100 to get 50 leads for a specific home, he's selling that house, right? And think about the ROI of that. And then the other one is, you don't want to do what's the value of my home. That's a really bad real estate offer because they'll just go to Zillow or Zwillow or whatever.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can put some pictures of homes that are in that area and say, see what's available in such and such area that you're trying to buy in. And what you do is you figure out, like, see what's available between 200 and 250. And then you look at homes that are at about 235. They're just above the median there that you have listed, and you put 3 or 4 pictures and you run that ad, and then they're opting in to get a list of all the homes you have available. But now you have their contact information and you can go show them those houses. That works pretty well as well.
And realtors hustle too. I think they're a little different than like the normal, like realtors, because that's what they live on. I mean, they got to, each one is like, they got to get to the next sale. They got, that's not bad.
It's ruthless at the top.
Oh man. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Okay. So we talked about dentists, free whitenings, cleanings, anything we can get them in to kind of upsell them. Chiropractors, free massage, low cost adjustments. So kind of the same thing. You can get them on a plan to keep coming in every month and get adjustments every month, free massage.
Yeah.
Massages are ridiculously expensive. My wife pays for massages and those aren't cheap. So
yeah. And what you can do, with this is just kind of a lesson learned from, I'm running a chiro client that was referred to me, and it was kind of a favor. And one of the things we're struggling with is he was running the low end adjustment, but he's not selling his package on the first session. He's doing this whole like structural analysis thing, and then he does their adjustment, and then he wants them to come back 2 days later to get the results of the analysis, and then he's selling them into this like $500 per month package for adjustments. Nobody's coming back.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't, and I'm trying to explain that to him. I'm like, I wouldn't come back because I know what's happening and I don't really care. I got my I got my cheap adjustment. And so, I keep trying to tell him, give them the adjustment while they feel good. Be like, hey, we could really, this is just a temporary fix. We can give you a permanent fix if you can get in here, over the next 6 weeks. And they're like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then you can upsell them, but he just won't do it. But
some business owners have egos, or they've done things the same way a long time. So it takes a little bit more time.
You know what? This is good because one of the things we were going to talk about was how do you get an owner? We're just going to skip ahead for a second because I brought it up on accident.
Yeah.
How do you get an owner to do a good offer? And this guy's really resistant to it. And what I've had, my approach, when I work with the gym, I work with so many of them that when they come to me, I'm just like, here are the offers that work. We're going to do this, or we're going to do this. Which do you prefer?
Yeah.
And then if they're resistant to it, I'm like, look, I will run one of these offers because I know they work, or I'll refer you to somebody else because I'm not going to run this offer that you think is going to work that I know isn't. And so I'm kind of an asshole when I'm talking to prospects in that sense, because I'm like, sorry, your idea's dumb. And if you want to work with me, we're not doing that. But
from the beginner's perspective, though, it's hard though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's really hard. Yeah. And so what you can do is you can always tell them like, hey, I don't really think this is going to work as well, but I'm happy to test it for you. I think this would work better. So why don't we test yours? If it works, fantastic. If not, then we can test mine. And they're usually okay with that. Or in the case of this chiro, where I'm just having to sit with him and say, look, man, let's look at your numbers. You have this many sales at this many dollars, and you've spent this much money to get this many leads. You've converted this percentage. You are spending more money than you're earning right now. And we have enough data that they're not coming back. Why don't you try selling on that first session? Because all it takes is one sale. All it takes is one sale, and you're in the green.
Somebody sneezed and lost their life. Yeah, but I think
somebody named user,
user is
anonymous user, just coughed up a lung.
So that's
I
one
hope
thing
you're okay, user.
I've had to deal with business owners. Some business owners are like, or some of them are really successful because they've taken charge in life, and they've followed their instincts, and their instincts have been generally pretty right, but they don't know anything about marketing. And so I think that your approach is a smart one of like almost appease the business owner. If you have a difficult one that's like, no, I really think we should do this. Like try to appease them first and be like, yeah, we'll absolutely do this. And then when you can show that it doesn't work, then you move to the next thing, and you show them your, whatever you think your strategy is. But you're going to run into that sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, Javi. Yeah, man. Somebody just lost their stuff all over their computer screen. But yeah, I mean, it's hard though, but I can totally understand. Like, for me, for this marching band thing, and we'll talk about this. Like, I'm working with a very obscure client right now, and they didn't want to do the offer that I wanted to do. They were like, "Well, I just want to do a free quote," and I literally just told them, I can't work with you if that's all we're gonna do. Like, this is just not gonna work." And you get to the point. Right now, a lot of people that have taken the course aren't there. But once you get a couple clients under your belt, you get to the point where you have your, your rules basically of like, hey, we're going to do this or we're not going to do anything.
And here's what it is, guys. Like, one, it's confidence that you can get results. But the other part is when you build it to where you start to have a good amount of clients and it doesn't become a side hustle where you just work a couple hours and it becomes like a real deal. You start to get to a point where you're like, I want to make more money, but more than that, I don't want to waste time experimenting on things or doing things I don't think are going to work or working with people that I'm not going to get along with. And so that becomes a switch where you start to value your time and your life experience or your whatever, I don't know what the word is, but like just how things are, your daily life more than an extra $1,000. Which is crazy to say, but it happens eventually.
It'll happen for a lot of you. But in the meantime, just appease first, and then introduce your idea, and that's.
But set it up as like, hey, I think that this option would work better. But what I always tell people, because you guys have heard me say test and find out 1,000 times. I say, look, I'm open to test anything. I don't think that this is a great offer, but you never know. So let's test it. Let's try it out. And if it doesn't work, then I've got an offer I feel pretty confident in. Can we run that if yours doesn't work? And usually people will go with that.
Okay. So
Ryan, we've been going for about 35 minutes, and there was probably 10 minutes of jamming and talking about random stuff before that.
Quizzes. Ryan asked about quizzes. I've seen quizzes on Entrepreneur on Fire. I don't know if Ryan's an EO Fire guy, but they're pretty effective. Every time I've seen a quiz, I feel like that's the new hot thing right now. I don't know if you've seen a lot of that, Mike, but a lot of people are using quizzes right now to get leads.
It's not new, but it's, I don't think that I've never seen it for local. I've seen it for online.
I've seen it for online. I've never seen it for local either.
Yeah.
Because it's like, do you really want to, I feel like part of the intrigue of quizzes is like, either who's doing it. I don't know if I got a quiz from a dentist. I don't know if I'd take a quiz from some random dentist that I'd never seen before.
Yeah, quizzes have high virality, but the conversion rate into something is a lot lower because it's not related to the offer. Usually, sometimes it is.
Yeah, but, I feel like it's a clever trick to get somebody's email address, and I feel like for a blog, it would work really well. Or for something like that, something online, it would definitely work well.
Like, I think a quiz would work really well for Millennial Money Man if you were doing find out the best method to get debt free for your situation. And then you had different pathways and it said, oh, you need to pay down your debt. You need to put money aside for savings. You need to start. Are they like playing beer pong or something over there?
I don't know. Hold on. Who are you talking about?
Nate and his wife. I just keep seeing them like doing this. Like,
dude, I don't know.
It looks like they're playing beer pong.
They're moving around. I'm proud of Nate for a lot of reasons, but I don't know what they're doing over there.
Oh no, that's somebody else. There's like a party going on over there.
Where? Who?
Nate. There's new people. Hey, there's more people. Oh my goodness. Did somebody
Nate's
have cat
bringing
ears
up-
on? I think they're having a legit party over here.
Nate, what is happening?
This is a realtor right here, my buddy Brian,
Nice.
having
We-
some dinner.
Sweet. Y'all have fun. I can't believe you're like hanging out with us when you've got.
You brought us to dinner. This is great.
He's like, my buddy's over for dinner and he wanted to hear the realtor lead gen tips.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
I don't remember where we were at. What, do
We
you
were
remember
on.
where we
Let's. Okay, so we talked. Yoga. So we were talking about chiropractors, free massage, low
similar
cost.
to gyms, yoga, introductory programs, free trials, like yoga. There are two with yoga and weightlifting. I like to do introduction to weightlifting for women, and I like to do introduction to yoga because they're things that like women are hesitant to go try weightlifting, and a lot of people are hesitant to try yoga because they're like, I don't bend like that, And so when you say, hey, like we've got this intro program, we'll teach you all of the yoga poses. Yeah, Pilates is going to be very similar to yoga or gym. Like they're going to be similar marketing, which is going to be free trials, introductory programs, low cost programs, that kind of thing. But like, introductory yoga to come in and do.
Sorry, Jason had a funny
Sorry.
comment. Did Nate disappear?
I know. I just read it. I got this. Yeah, I think we
He better
chased him off.
close on that deal right now. He better turn around and close on that deal and be like,
We're gonna get off this. And he's like, I signed a realtor.
He better. He doesn't.
But so like, hey, come learn the yoga poses, the basics in like a friendly environment, or, for women, like, hey, have you ever thought about weightlifting? I have an ad that I'm running right now. It's like, women, or ladies, have you ever thought about weightlifting? It's the most effective way to get lean and toned and transform your body. It's faster than traditional cardio workouts. And then I hit the big pain that people worry about is, don't worry. It won't give you a bulky physique. It actually helps you build that tone physique that you want. And that works really well because we're able to overcome that kind of stuff. So intro programs and trials, I think, really good.
Yeah. Nail salons, hair studios. So package deals.
I forget who was it. Erica? I'm trying to remember who did the esthetician.
I don't know.
And yeah, but she had this awesome ad.
Oh yeah,
in the group, and it was like buy something and get free lashes or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. She did a great ad, I thought. And so we see a lot of buy one get ones, or Krista. It was Krista. I couldn't remember. I know that there's so many people that are doing such great ads right now. I'm trying to keep them all straight.
Krista was Krista the one that did?
No, I thought Krista. We were toasting her on the live stream on Tuesday because she'd closed the client.
Yeah, she's the one that used the email system that I put in the course, but like did it on Messenger instead, which was like, that was so smart. I wish.
Sweet.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, and she literally got the person to say, you should be my marketer.
Oh no, that was Carla.
Carla, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
There's so many people doing awesome things. See, and Carla, like I had already forgotten that you did that now, because now in my mind, you're the one that wrote the awesome long form copy, and I'm just so proud of you for that long form copy.
Yeah,
that was
Carla.
awesome.
I gotta tell you, I'm so proud of you. I saw that. I know I wrote that the other day, but I saw that and I was just like, that is probably. I was like, I can't believe that somebody did that well. It was like a textbook. Like, here's how you get a client by complimenting them first, and on Messenger too. It's a masterclasses. Yeah, it's really
Bobby and I spend more time like, oh my God, did you see what so and so did, than we do actually working now.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just fun. It's fun to see people step out of their comfort zone and like do things.
Nice.
Like a couple of years ago, I would have. Geez, Ryan, what? Wow, you put a book on there. Hold on,
hit us with the book. Well, Jason said he copied Carla's tactics A++.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ryan,
what is that?
Bro.
Speaking of yoga.
Mike's got to put his glasses on.
Ryan coming in with the podcast takes. Yeah.
10 class package.
What? Silence as we read.
Yeah, sorry. Ryan wrote like an epic novel of.
Yeah,
Just
I think
messing
it's
with
a
you, Ryan.
great strategy. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great strategy. It's, stuff like that is definitely awesome. The reason that we don't talk about things like that too much is because it's so involved.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
trying
good
to
point.
teach that to a client and then get them to execute on it is really, really hard. And that's what's one of the things that's hard with working with online business clients, because you have to do stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's just so much more involved. And, I like my local simple and scalable.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the reasons why we're talking about these niches. If you look at gyms, realtors, dentists, chiros, yoga studios, hair salons, restaurants, these are all places where either there's a high dollar purchase or we're trying to get them in the door, right? Like the realtors are the ones that stand out. They're a little different. Everything else, it's one of those things like if we can get them in the door, they'll have a great experience and they'll come back. Or it's like a dentist where it's a necessity, right? And so, with those, that's why we like those niches. They're a lot easier. Whereas when we talk about some of our difficult niches, they're not necessarily necessities. And we'll get to that in a second. Or they're not as common. Let's just blaze through these really quickly. Restaurants, you've seen them. Buy one, get one free. Meals, 2 for $30, where you get an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a dessert. Dessert, free appetizer, a discount. There's all kinds of things. Plastic surgeons, we already talked about. Oh, we were kind of at the end. So we're good there.
Yeah, we're good. Let's talk about difficult. You want to talk about difficult?
Yeah. So we put like 4 things in the difficult category, and these are all good ones, but difficult ones. And then we just kind of had this like other category. So lawyers and financial services we put as like one. Those are 2 that are in kind of one difficult category.
Yeah.
And then things like jewelers and home remodeling services are in the other. And so the difference being like lawyers and financial services are highly regulated, right? And so
absolutely true.
Yeah, they're high dollar. Yeah, the people that are going to use them are going to be spending money, and they can be great niches if you can do it, because those people are willing to spend money on advertising. You bet your ass a lawyer's willing to spend money on advertising. But it's highly, highly regulated, And so you have to know what are the state laws, what does the bar let them do, and you have to be involved in that. So it's a little more difficult. Then when you do things like, Bobby's got a jeweler client, jewelers and home remodeling, they're high ticket items. So there's a high ROI. You're willing to pay $200 to get a $2,000 purchase, but
it's a hard sell.
Hard. There's just such a smaller group of people that need those things or are willing to buy those things that it's more difficult. So these are lucrative niches. They're not bad niches, but they're difficult. They're harder.
You have to be more creative with them. But like for jewelers, for example, like in theory, it sounds really cool or really easy to like, hey, let's bring somebody in so they can buy a $2,000 engagement ring. But there's no ongoing service after that. And there's a lot of variations on an engagement ring. Can people find the right diamond? Can they find the right shape that they want? Can they find the right price? Because it's really competitive pricing between jewelers. Jewelers are some of the most cutthroat people to work with, just in general. So there's a lot to that. But you can be creative with it. I mean, you can do things where you have, and this is totally off of what we are teaching in this course, but you can do things like run traffic campaigns, and then when you get them to a certain blog post, there's a program called like ClickDesk or Zendesk where your client can literally talk to those people and try to close them. But it's a lot harder, and you've got to have people that are willing to try to do that. So it's harder to do like a straight up offer for like, here's get a free dinner at a steakhouse if you buy a ring with us. Like that, it's more complex. So it's a harder sell, and really aren't that great sometimes actually too. Like you might think like, $3,000 wedding ring sounds like big ticket item. They spend $2,300, $2,400 on the material for the ring and the labor. So there's not a whole lot of margin there.
Yeah. Todd asked me to talk about my aversion to putting the price in your offer. What are ways to get around that? So Todd, you've heard me talk and seen my philosophies enough in other communities to know that I tend to have different beliefs than kind of like the mainstream, like what people do in here. And it actually is a little more common to say don't put the price in your offer, but I firmly believe that you don't need to give all of the information in the ad. The job of the ad is to find people that are going to raise their hand and say, I'm interested in hearing you out. And then it's the client's job to fill in the details. And so when I put an offer out, I don't want to tell them all the information. I don't want to give them every single detail or the price because I know that makes the cost per lead go up and less people are going to come through. And it's not because those people wouldn't buy. It's because you weren't able to overcome any objections in the ad by putting it there. So they gave up on it before you even had the chance. So I'm going to give 2 examples of this. What's up, Mel?
Hey.
There's Melissa, our community manager, hanging out. So as an example of this, I've got a client. I mentioned we were doing this like intro to yoga program, and it's like a complex offer. They have Saturday morning sessions every week for a month where you go and you learn specific poses and things. And then you have access to unlimited classes during the week, and it costs a certain amount. And they wanted to put all this detail in the ad. And I was like, look, homie, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
And they were like, do it. And so I did, and it didn't work. And then we did it my way, which was just like, hey, we're doing an intro to yoga class where you get to learn all these things and you get unlimited access to classes during the week. And what do you know? We were getting $2 leads, and they've been closing a bunch of them because I withheld details. So if it's too hard for them to understand the offer, they're not going to come through. And it's the same thing with price. It doesn't matter how good the price is. If you put the price on there, somebody's going to go, not worth it. And they're going to make a judgment before you have the chance to sell them on the value. If you leave the price off and you sell the result or you sell the features and benefits and you get them interested, then they're going to come in and say, hey, I'm interested. How much does it cost? And you can say, oh, it costs this, but you get boom, 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 boom. And they're like, oh, okay, but that seems a little high. And then they can, whatever, they can do their thing. Now, let's say that for every 3 people that saw the price and then didn't click on the ad, maybe those 3 opted in and they only sold 1. That's still 1 more sale. So yeah. I'm all about getting my clients at bats. And so, that's one of those things when my clients are like, oh, but if you put the price, it'll be a better qualified lead. Or if we make them go through all these hoops, it's going to be a better qualified lead. And I just say to them, look, I've done this long enough that I've seen that the sales percentages of my clients does not change no matter what I do. So the whole qualification thing in my mind is bullshit when it's a cold lead. And so I just tell them that. And then we do it my way and they make money and we're all good. So I'm, I want to give them at bats. That's why I don't do it.
So we were talking about difficult.
Oh, here's a KJ. Can you expand on that really quickly? Because he said messaging for this course is the perfect example. Because I think I know what he's saying, but I'm kind of curious.
Well, when you were talking, I was actually thinking about the course.
Yeah, we all good, Todd. Yeah, we positioned like we did. There was a lot of marketing and positioning with this course, something to think about. Like, how I was talking earlier, guys, about with the gym, you don't want to sell a 12-week program because people think they can't do it. Yeah. Well, Bobby and I were talking about like what's realistic, and we were talking about y'all and the MSM audience in particular. We said these people that are in this audience, we're all trying to get debt free, and an extra $1,000 a month has a big impact on our ability to pay down debt, right? Yeah. And so our goal with the course was not make $10,000 a month. build a 6-figure, 7-figure agency, because we knew that the audience, y'all, might go, okay, I don't know about that. But if we come in and say, hey, you can get 1 or 2 clients and it can change your life, that's a true statement. And you can do that in a couple hours a week. And we're already seeing people do that. And so we put a lot of thought into, the positioning of the course to make it appealing to y'all, because we wanted to help as many people as possible.
One thing we did not do, we didn't hide the price, and we were very open
That's true.
about the price. But the difference is it's not a cold audience. It's a very, my audience, I feel like, is a very warm audience, and we could afford to be super open and upfront about it. And because the price of this course is a huge value proposition.
Cheap.
Yeah, it's so cheap. And as you guys get into this world, you'll see more and more like, wow. Yeah,
the people that I talked to, the people that I talked to that we had look at the course and give us their feedback and stuff that were from my world were like, did you forget the one?
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be 1247? Because that's kind of the floor for these kind of programs. So KJ, if you can put that, I really do want to hear what you had to say. I'm going to nag you about it later if you don't post. But
can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Hey, yeah. What's up?
First of all, appreciate it, guys. All I meant was I didn't actually see the price until I was sold on the idea of the course, and so
that's a good point.
I didn't see a lot of the messaging around it. I got it from a different source. It wasn't on the blog yet. But so I was, scrolling through, reading the story, got the information, the story, and I was really excited about it. Then I saw the price, and so that's all I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. So we did have a lot of people that came from different avenues, different, whatever.
KJ, first off, thank you very much for joining. Yeah. One, you've participated in the group and everything, and we appreciate that. But all of you, it really means a lot to us that you bought this and took a chance on us.
Yeah.
But KJ, where'd you come from, man? Where'd you hear about the course?
It was Grant Sabatier. I don't know how to say his name, but I read his blog. I hadn't discovered Bobby yet. Now I'm reading it, obviously. But so he sent out an email. It was like, hey, I never sent out an email to people about this stuff, but this is something that's really cool. And I was looking for a side hustle, looking for something to make an impact on my family and my life. So it was a good fit.
That's cool, man. Grant's a very good friend of mine.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude. I met him about a year ago, and we've hung out a lot. Very good friends.
Randall, is this the Randall that I know from college, or is it a different Randall in the group? Yes. So how crazy is this? Randall started following you in December.
Yeah.
When we had the idea for the course and started working on it.
Rand, did I hit you with a Facebook ad? I'd love to hear if you found me through a Facebook ad.
Oh, okay. Well, but what's funny is I've hung out with Randall before in college because he was good buddies with one of my buddies from back home. So we weren't hanging out every weekend or anything, but we've crossed paths many times. So it was pretty neat.
The cool thing, and I think the thing to learn about, even so, you guys that have taken the course, this thing is, in my opinion, this thing is a pretty big slam dunk from a lot of different areas. We provided a ton of value, and we're continuing to do it. But even with all of that value, and even the price as low as it is, even all of the value that we provided, we still had to sell. And I think that's the same thing. When you're talking about offers, it doesn't matter how great the offer is. You can't just put it out there without selling it. And so that's why we had to go to the great lengths that we had to go to convince people, yes, we have this legit thing. And then we had to put everybody through this process of selling it to them as well. And so that's the same thing with your offers. It doesn't matter how great the offer is. The copy's got to be good. Everything's got to be good.
Well, let's talk about offers for a little bit. I know we're going to have to wrap this up here in a few minutes, but in my mind with local ads, it's not about the targeting. It's not about really anything except for the offer and the copy. If you've got a great offer and hot shit copy, you're going to do well. And that's why when I saw Carla's post, I was like, Carla is going to crush this. And I remember, and Tanya was like, hell yeah, that's great, because we like long copy. But because if you can write good copy, you're going to do well.
Yeah.
But the offers are so important because that's what gets people interested. They want that thing, right? And so you have to have the thing they want, the good offer. And what makes a good offer is like, think about like, would I do this? Right? You know, Bobby and I talked about like this one restaurant that we went to is good Mexican food, but we only went there because we were getting this like $30 chocolate piñata monstrosity. It's good Mexican food, but Fort Worth is not like great Mexican food when you grew up in Houston.
Yeah.
Right. And then, but like, you know, Bobby and I are both talking like, you know, we rub sandpaper on our face to go eat at Gringos because that's our place, you know? Sure. So, you know, they can get away with it.
But that's a funny way to put it, but it's true.
But so the offer is really important. You need a real offer. Like if it's you know, let's say you're doing the Cairo or a massage parlor. If they said to me like, oh, we'll give you a 15-minute massage, personally, I'm going to go, man, a 15-minute massage would be really nice, but you know what wouldn't be really nice? The 30 minutes that I have to spend in transit to go get a 15-minute massage. Yeah. But you do a 45-minute massage, and I'm like, I'll pay for that. So yeah, I'll take it for free. So you got to think about those things when you're crafting an offer. And then when you do the copy, you have to think about, and Carla had said for her ad, like, I was thinking about if I were going to go do CrossFit, what are all the reasons that I wouldn't do it? And then I tried to alleviate those concerns. And that's exactly how you write good copy. So, you need to think about the objections. Oh, excuse me, guys. That was weird. I don't know what that was. You got to think about the objections.
Yeah, it's not as
actually.
Bad as
I do know what it is. It's barbecue.
But not as bad as your yawn in the middle of the course. Sorry, that's kind of an inside joke. Somebody complained about Mike's yawn.
Yeah. They complained about a yawn in a video that I was redoing at 3 a.m.
Yeah, which it wasn't that bad. I went back and watched it, and it was a very short yawn. And I was like,
not like the
complained about this.
I did a hot seat for Jenny last night, and I yawned like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. So, but with the copy, like if you can think about all of the reasons that you would not take the offer or you would be suspicious and then overcome them, you're going to get more sales. And that's one thing, Bobby and I did not write the sales page. We hired a professional to write the sales page. Yeah. And he went in and covered every possible thing. Oh, but what if I don't know how to do tech? Well, you can do it even if you're not a tech person. Mike doesn't know how to turn on a computer and he still does it, Or what if I don't have a lot of time, right? And it's like, well, Mike had a job and was a stay-at-home dad and he did it. You can do that, right? Or, well, what if I'm, I have this, this whatever reason, and we wove the story in. Bobby leaving his job as a teacher, all these different things. But whether it's you're busy or, I don't know if people would pay me that money. That was a big one. We kept saying, look, like $1,000 is the floor here, right? Some people are paying $2,000, $3,000 a month for this. So we started like looking at all of those objections. That's why we had Q&As, right? We wanted to like hype it up, but that was research. We would do a live stream with y'all and all the questions you asked, we would then go, okay, how do we overcome this objection? Because that's what a question is on a sales page, and we included it. And to a lesser extent, you need to do that on an ad too, which is why we like long copy.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to take a marketing course from people that sucked at marketing. that definitely wouldn't. Because I only have a couple minutes. My mother-in-law's here.
Yep.
I gotta eat. But I want to talk about obscure.
Just the last one.
Yeah. So we've seen some people talk about, different things that they want to do. And you just have to understand, like the more, and I work with some obscure clients, like right now
and they're hard.
It's so hard. And I'm almost at the point where I just don't want to do that anymore. But, like for me right now, I've got a drill writer, and that's somebody that writes formations for marching bands. So like super obscure, but I know a lot about marching band. I used to be a band director, and I know a lot about drill, and I know the pain points of band directors and all of that stuff. Even with all of that super inside knowledge that I have, the targeting is so hard because you can't really do radius targeting. I mean, because you're trying to get high school bands all over the country. So you have to do some pretty intense interest targeting. You have to do, we've got an email list that we're targeting. Then you can do like website traffic and then try to do a lookalike. But it's so much harder to get.
The point is you need a lot more advanced strategies than what we're teaching you.
Yeah. And it's just harder. And so I think that the more obscure you pick, the higher the cost per lead is going to be. The more time, more experimentation it's going to take. And when I work with a client like that, I tell them up front, this might not work. Like you're going to pay me up front to see if this can work. And I might be able to get you some leads or I might not. This is a weird thing that we're doing. And so I would try to go for the more common things first, because then you can experiment and branch out. But, it's not worth it, I feel like, from the beginning.
And we're not going to like call out any of like the niches that we went through, but like I'll give some examples that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, let's just talk about lawyers. If it's family law or it's personal injury, that's a little easier because there's going to be more need for that, because there's going to be adoptions and divorces and there's going to be people getting hit by trucks and that kind of stuff. But if it's a water law specialist that handles contract disputes between ranch owners, that's really hard.
It's hard.
Right? Yeah. It's really hard. Targeting farmers or ranch owners, something like that, it's going to be difficult. If it's selling specialty insurance, like that's something that's going to be really, really hard. If it's selling something strange, like I'm trying to think of something like I don't know.
Well, let me tell you one.
Pet clothes for reptiles,
yeah.
If it's too niche.
Yeah, like one that's interesting, like people think attorneys, you're on that. Mesothelioma attorneys. They'll spend a ton of money, but it's so expensive to try to get. Like, what do you think the cost per click is on Google for a mesothelioma lawyer?
Huge.
It's like over $260 per click. And so it's just so, and it, just things that are so niche specific like that. And so like you're looking for a very specific person, it's just harder. So.
Yeah. Well, the processed deer meat thing, I'm actually really intrigued by that. But the point of that, like that example, one of our members that was doing that, it's like, give it a try because that's his business. But
deer meeting. It's like deer meeting up. They do.
Yeah. I didn't notice. But like it's not the, like, I think it's great. It's like, hey, it's his business. Give it a try. But like, if it's something like that where you got to go, okay, these people gotta be hunting. Single deer mingle.
The thing about the deer thing, because I have a deer meat processing client, and the thing about a lot of them is they usually have restaurants attached to them. So I would market more to the restaurant, because somebody was asking about that. I would market more to the restaurant side, or they have like some kind of special like sausage recipe or something that you can give away. There are ways to do it, but that's super obscure. And again, you have to have like some insider knowledge on that to
think about things. So just to bring it back, if it's not something that every person that you know would use regularly, then it's probably a difficult niche. So if it's going to a very specific group of people, like hunters, right, then that's going to be harder. If there's a lot of regulation, that's going to be harder. But if it's something that people use a lot, like realtors, gyms, going to the dentist, restaurants, some sort of specialty shops, I think it'd be kind of fun to advertise like a little antique shop type thing, because people like that. I don't know if that'd be good or not.
It's hot right now, so yeah.
That'd be hard, but I can see it doing well. I could see it not doing. I think it could be not good too, because I've actually never walked into one of those shops and made a purchase. And my wife always likes to go in those.
I have, unfortunately. The stuff's not cheap, man. It's like you think it's old and it'd be cheap, but it's not. So, anyways, okay, I gotta get off.
We gotta wrap it up.
It's 8:07, so hopefully that's helpful to you guys. If everybody uses it, then it's probably a good thing. If nobody uses it, then it's going to be harder.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us live. We appreciate it. It was fun. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right, if you're seeing this, you made it to the end of that training. It was a long one, but I hope you found it super valuable. Do me a favor, let me know what you thought in the comments. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Remember, we've got new episodes of the Laptop Empire Show coming out every Tuesday, so we got plenty of content coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got any requests for videos that you'd like to see on this channel, you can let me know that in the comments as well, and if it's a good topic, we'll be sure to create it for you and put it out in one of our future episodes. Thank you so much. See you next week.